Good morning, everybody. So today is, as you can tell from the title, a budget check-in. So we're going to be taking a look at my budget section in my Frankenplanner. I'll talk to you about how it has evolved. I will walk you through my personal expenses, and then just remember that this budget video does not contain numbers from my full household. I do share my portion of the budget and what I pay, but I do not share our full household budget. I like to share with you guys and I like to be open, but I also like to keep some things just for us and our families. I will be sharing my numbers, what I make at this time. That is probably going to change in the near future, but we'll kind of talk about that, plans for the future, that kind of thing. Let's just jump in and take a look. So if you are a brand new person to my channel and you are just stopping by and you are looking for more budget content, I do have monthly budget setup videos, mid-month check-ins for most months, and then I also have end of the month check-ins, and maybe sometimes I'll contain my setup within that as well. So I do walk you through my budget a few times a month, and I use a Frankenplanner, and I actually only use one planner, and this is in transition right now. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about some plans that I have to better support my budget for the future. When I was planning out April, let's just talk about my monthly layout. Since I only use one monthly layout, we'll take a look at my full budget section in a moment, but since I'm only using one monthly layout, I am going to, starting in May, this is a little bit looking forward, I am going to include my budget numbers on my monthly spread. So my monthly spread right now is really to track appointments, ongoing things that we have, like my daughter has art every Wednesday, but this is going to be kind of like my central hub and an overview of everything that I have going on for the month. I'm also going to be planning and putting my budget things on my weekly spreads. So if I have a bill coming up that day, it's going to go right here. And the purpose for that is because I want to be prompted here when I have a budget coming up, or when I have a bill coming up, when I have something due, I want to be prompted to take a look at that section. I want to be prompted to be more on my game, and I want to be less reactive and more proactive, because I feel like, as you'll see when we look at my budget, something I'm realizing about myself as a spender and with money is that I am very reactive. So I don't have a lot of plans for the future. I do have like a retirement account, but that is not something that I actively have to pour into. As a state employee, that is just something that gets poured into on my behalf. So I do have some future plans as far as money, but when I need something, I just go out and buy it immediately. I don't plan ahead for that. So I want to know like how much money I need to have delegated to pay all my bills and to keep everything on track, and what is actually necessary. And this is something that I have been kind of dragging my feet on throughout this year, really. That's been a goal for me, is to get on top of my bills, to look at my subscriptions, to make sure that I'm only paying what I need to be paying every month. But I'm still kind of in a lot of those old patterns that I started the year with, and going into this season where I'm either going to be working for myself here on this YouTube channel and across social media, really, or moving into a career that is different from what I am currently doing, I need to be very aware of my budget. So I really need to make sure that I am prepared, and I need to make sure that everything is basically like locked down. Like I just need to make sure that I am organized about it, because in a lot of other areas in my life, I am organized. I know like what's going on, and I have plans for the future, but in my budget area, I don't necessarily have those plans. So let's take a look at my budget section. And if you want to see a full flip through of my plan with me, oh my gosh, you guys, it is early this morning while I'm filming this. I am so sorry. If you want to see a full flip through of what my Frankenplanner looks like, I can show you a video of that. I do have that going on. So this is my current budget section. And so it looks a little different than what you may have seen before if you haven't seen my updated Frankenplanner. But I kept kept some pieces from the budget planner, but really they are just standalone pieces now because I took out the monthly section. So I've kept the dashboard in here. I'm not quite sure how I want to use it, but I do like this space right here, this unexpected spend, and I do want to really start working on filling this in more. So I didn't have a chance before I filmed this video to do that. And then figuring out how I can best utilize this space as like a way to see forward and maybe to even set some goals. So that's going to be my plan for, it looks like this is the one from March, but it looks like I will need to update that. But my plans for May is to really utilize this page. And so I've set some budget numbers here. I think that this is going to need to be adjusted next month. As you can see, as we go forward here, some of my numbers are going to be a bit higher. Overall, I do feel like I did well with my budget and my spending, but it could definitely be better. I've made some improvements, but I'm still, this is a really slow process for me. I know that there are some people that when they make a commitment in the year, or they make like a, I hate to say the word resolution, but when they make something like that in the year, they're like, okay, I'm jumping in both feet. But I feel with money and budgeting, I'm not sure exactly what's going on, but I am just dragging my feet. I want to, I think part of me enjoys the freedom of being able to spend when I want to spend, but I also don't enjoy the stress of having unexpected expenses just kind of like pop up. That's not something that I enjoy. I need to work on also including my savings tracker because now I do have some savings. I did add last month or the month before in February, I added some money to my savings, so that is starting to grow. So I need to start working on my savings tracker, but that is not there yet. But the big bulk of what we're going to be talking about today is here. This is the first 2 weeks of April, and this is what I have spent for the month and sort of my reflections about that. My spending has been okay. I did do some things, so let's just start with the first week here. Amazon, this was a few needed household items, so that was something that I needed to spend. And then this bills money gets transferred, $400 gets transferred to our joint account. And I've talked a little bit about how Brian and I do bills together but separately in previous videos, so I can link you to one of those videos where I talk about that. But basically, like, we transfer money into one big account, and then whatever is left in our personal accounts, we split that, and then that's our spending money. So I do have that there, but I transferred my $400 for the first half of my April bills on April 4th. And then this Coursera, this is actually like a digital marketing course that I'm taking. So this is something that I'm using to enhance my skills and my resume, basically. So that is something that was needed. Amazon, this is another, I think this was Harrison's Easter shirt, very late order, but I think that that's what that was. AAA, that's my monthly there. DoorDash, I never DoorDash, you guys, but this was when I was sick. I had a really bad case of the stomach flu, and the only thing that sounded good to me was pho, and so I did go ahead and order that on DoorDash. People offered to go pick it up for me, but I'm one of those people that really doesn't like to ask for help, so that was just for me, and that was kind of expensive, so I do kind of regret that. But that's one of those things that I wish that I had been prepared for. Maybe I had like a budget for eating out or something that I could have pulled from, instead of having to pull from like my, you know, my bulk account essentially. Curiosity Flowers, this is a gift that was for my mom that's ongoing this year. Carter's, this is Harrison's summer wardrobe, so things were on sale, so I went ahead and bought him the next size up of shorts and things. Joanne, so this was during one of my shopping vlogs. And then Moda, so Delilah and I went to the Olivia Rodrigo concert, and you have to buy water when you're in there. You can't take a water bottle in. I wish you could. And then Instacart, so this is my first grocery order, so that's looking okay. And then Organic Prairie, this is 2 organic spiral cut hams for Easter. So that was my contribution to Easter this year. Where do I think I deserve a gold star? I kept my grocery budget lower than on track. So this week, anyway, you'll see next week was a little bit less than that, but I feel like I did well this week. But I didn't plan for any unexpected expenses, and I've talked about that a little bit, so I want to start thinking ahead. And something that I've done to kind of prepare myself to start thinking ahead is and I've talked about this for a couple of months, I did join Elise from Plan with Elise's Patreon, and so hers is very budget focused, and I just really like the way that she thinks about budgeting and that kind of thing. So I went ahead and joined that so that I can start really digging in and working on my budget, because I need to get serious about it, but I also don't want to go into this state where I feel deprived. So, and I just like how she thinks about budgeting. As you can see, I had Instacart here, Fred Meyer's, this is grocery, Fred Meyer's, this is grocery as well, Fred Meyer, this is grocery and Instacart. So just kind of jumping down, I know that I'm probably going to go over my grocery budget this month, which I set back here as $6.50 for this month. I think I'm going to need to either increase that or do something like a monthly meal plan where I look through and I like price everything out, but we have like our monthly meals and snacks and that kind of thing, because I think what's getting me is that I'm not accounting for like snacks and that kind of thing in my meal planning. I am just planning for like our dinner meals. I'm not accounting for other things, and I think that's what is ruining my grocery budget. I also did splurge and go out again, so it does look like I have 2 things this month already that are going out to eat, and I didn't think I was someone that really liked to go out to eat, but I guess I do, so I want to include that in my budget for next month as well. Nails, that was $120 because I did my nails and my toes this time. Usually it's only about $40, but that one was a little bit more on the expensive side. And then I have Joann, Hobby Lobby, Joann, and Target. This was me being the Easter bunny, so that was a necessary thing. But what I'd also maybe like to do, and I know it was release season, and some of you have like looked at my spending and talked to me about things that you think are kind of going on with my spending, but I do want to look at that. Like I do want to look at like, why am I buying craft supplies? Like what am I buying it for? Maybe buying with a purpose more, because I do like look around and I'm like, well, I probably should use all of the things that I have, but at the same time, being a content creator, it's nice to have like the newer things to be able to show those products. People really like those things. So anyway, we're getting a little bit off topic here, but just kind of reevaluating that, I guess, and just taking a look at that, but not necessarily making any changes, and or maybe changing my budget strategy for craft spending. So that's where we're at mid-month. I want to know how your budgets are going, so let me know. I'm going to work on my savings tracker, and I'm also going to work on setting some goals. Even though we are mid-month, I do still want to set some goals for this month and really like get on track, and then also like future plan and think about goals for my May budget. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you are new here, hello, my name is Caitlin, and I would love it if you would hit that red subscribe button down below and go ahead and give me a follow. That would be awesome. You guys are wonderful, you're amazing, and I absolutely adore each and every one of you. Thank you so much for being here. I really couldn't do any of this without you, so thank you for being here. And if you'd like to find me on any other places, you can find me at creatinginchaos_official on Instagram. You can find me on the Spice Chaos podcast, and all of that is linked down below. You can also find me over on Patreon at Creating in Chaos, and that is linked in my link tree over there on my description box. So thank you for checking that out in advance. I have a lot of fun things going on over on Patreon, and I'm meeting with some of my one-on-one folks this week, which is also very exciting. So I can't wait to do all of that. So I hope you all have a fantastic day. And by the way, you guys, have fun today.